I mean, you've been a player, obviously, at the highest level in this country, Ryan. Looking at Celtic and Wilfred Nonce, were you surprised that he changed his system? And as a player, would that have made a big difference to you, or you know?
Listen, there's a couple of ways to look at it. I think as a player, you have to be able to play different formations. And to say that players can't play different formations, I mean, they're professional footballers, so they should be adaptable. I do think, given the circumstances of the full thing, where I don't think Celtic have been that great this season. I mean, they're still, obviously, to yesterday, they were joint top. I think under Martin, I think Martin's connection with the club, and I think Martin's connection with the fans, and just all that sort of energy round about it, I think it got Celtic over the line in a lot of the games, other than 1 and 2 when they played really, really well. I think just having Martin there helped them. I think that he set them into a shape where they were hard to beat. It was pretty, which I liked. It was pretty bog standard, the fact that let's play another team's half, let's try and make things happen, let's get it in the box quick. And that's the way I think football should be played. That's just my personal opinion. I said before the game yesterday as well, I felt it would go two ways. I think if you're a player, I mean, again, it's a crazy week for Celtic. I mean, they've got Hearts, who are joint top. They then go away to Roma. They then get a cup final. Nonce's had 2 days in the building. He comes in, and I think the players would be sitting there saying, I wonder what he's going to do here. We all would have been, and I kind of wondered, and I said before the game started, I wonder if he's named his team and he's named his shape. As soon as he walks out that change room, I wonder what the players have said. Because I've done it, I've sat there and I've said, I'm not feeling this. I'm not sure about this. Or were they backing him 100%? And I have to say, as much as it was a great performance against from Hearts yesterday in the main, if Celtic play that formation against Roma, I think they will get absolutely battered. I mean, they were just so wide open at times. The spaces down the sides of the back three, I don't think they look, as I said, under any stress. I don't think they look comfortable. And I can kind of understand the fans' frustration. I don't think, and I'm not being disrespectful because I've been a player, I don't think a lot of the players are Celtic players. And I mean that in the nicest possible way. I think when they're all good players, yes, but I think that strip weighs heavy. And I mean that more in the sense of when their backs were against the wall yesterday, I didn't really see any other than Callum McGregor, who tries to keep things going, but he's never really going to, I don't think, I know he scored a great goal against St Mirren, but overly affect the game going forward at times. There was no other player that I looked at and thought, is he rallying the other players? Is he going to grab the ball and go and get it and try and take the game by the scruff of the neck? And it just kind of petered out. And I said that before the game started. If Wilfred Nonce thought he was coming in here and it was going to be about performances and, you know, I'm not really bothered about results and all that, he is absolutely crazy, because undoubtedly it is about results. And if there was ever a reckoning or the penny dropping for him, it had to be yesterday, where he ain't going to get enough time to go and work on performances and all that. He has to get results.
Ryan, you're talking about the Celtic players there, right? What can that result do for Hearts players, though? Like, you think about the mindset of those Hearts players. Now, they've had a great start to the season, sitting top, getting a lot of plaudits. They beat Celtic at home, which isn't that unusual. They've raised their game at Tynecastle before to beat the Old Firm, and then they have that wee dip where people are starting questioning them. People saying, it was kind of false hope that they would be involved in it. But to actually go to Celtic Park, the team that people are saying, they'll be champions again, they're miles better, they'll have a good run under Martin O'Neill. To actually go there and put that performance in and win, not just get a point, actually go there and win. Surely those Hearts players, if they needed it, they must believe now, surely, that they can put up a challenge this season. With everything you're saying about the Celtic team, we know where Rangers are, the kind of state they've been in. See, coming away from Celtic Park, what do you think's going through their players' minds? Are they thinking, like, that's the best we're going to face this season? Yeah. We can actually do this.
Yeah, I think yesterday was so pivotal. To be fair, I think just because I wouldn't even say it's a wobble. They'd played okay. They'd made sort of mistakes in games. They've been punished for it. I think they could have played better against Motherwell. Obviously, they got punished for the mistake against Kilmarnock. But I think yesterday was just so big on the fact that I sat before the game and I thought, see if they get a point, they're in this. But I mean, to go and get the 3 points, and I think in the way that it ended up unfolding, I mean, if your player's sitting in the change room after that, you're absolutely buzzing. But I think and I hope the older players are saying this. I think Derek McInnes, I listened to his interview after it, and he said, look, come to me at Christmas time or start of January, and if we're there or thereabouts, we can have the conversation, and I'll answer the question a bit better. These next 2 games for Hearts, if they come through the next 2 games and they take 4 or 6 points at the next 2 games, they're a 100%, for me, at this stage, favourite for the title. I genuinely mean that. I think if they go to Falkirk, or they play Falkirk and they beat Falkirk, and then they've obviously got Rangers at Tynecastle.
Yep.
2 massive games. If they can come through they 2, then I genuinely think we're sitting and we're actually talking about, can they now go? Because they will. I think he's already said that. I think they're light in midfield. They will go in January, and I think they will add to the squad. But I've obviously seen a lot of Hearts, and I've seen them through their little wobble. And again, they're in uncharted waters as well, so it's them learning as they go as well, how to see out games. And I think they'll learn for the Kilmarnock result. I think they'll learn that they were 1-0 up. They should have just seen the game out. They never, and it was their own fault. So they'll learn from that. But I think the next 2 games are absolutely massive. I think the game against Falkirk more so. Rangers and Celtic and Hibs, these are the kind of games Hearts can take care of themselves in the games, and I genuinely believe that. It's Motherwell, it's Falkirk, it's again Kilmarnock at home. If they go, I think the next two games are absolutely huge, as I said. But I do believe. Listen, I know for a fact they'll be sitting there saying it's another game chopped off, then it's another game, and we're still there. Once you get over Christmas, New Year, get into January, if they can get through the window, bring a couple of players in, if they can get to the end of January, the start of February, being in and about it, they've got a massive chance.
We've got, just before we let you go, Ryan, we've got comments coming in, and if you're watching at home, you want to get involved in the conversation, please do so in the comment section. Scott is one of a few people saying Hearts have got no chance winning the league. They'll drop points at Falkirk. Rebel says, I can see Falkirk taking points at the weekend. Derek goes further, says, I just feel Hearts will drop a lot of points. Rangers aren't out of this. I was really surprised today, Ryan. We get these PR emails that come in every now and then, and from the league sponsor, William Hill, no less. They make Hearts the third favourites to win the Premiership this season, behind Rangers at 6-1. I mean, you guys have both basically said it, but they've lost 1 of 20 games this season. They've beaten Celtic home and away. They've won at Ibrox. Half the season's almost gone. What more can they do?
Well, the first thing I would do is I'd put that in the changing room.
Aye.
And I would literally put it in the changing room on the big notice board and go, bang, there you go, lads. That's what everybody thinks. That's what Willie Hills thinks. That's their job. They're professional gamblers. This is how they make their money, and that's what they think is exactly what you say. Look at the run we've been on, and by the way, that's 2 shaky spells that we've seemingly had, the bubble busting and all that. Now, I'm not saying, listen, Celtic are well within it. Rangers, as much as Hearts were buzzing yet last night, trust me when I say this, Rangers have been sitting in the house going, we're not at it, and I can guarantee you they'll be having a meeting this morning as soon as they come in, and the manager will be saying to the Rangers squad, if we can go on a run, if we can beat Hearts in a week's time, then we're right back in it. So that